This is a thoroughbred racehorse. He is Attention, one of the 48 recognized stallions holding court on the 117 thoroughbred breeding farms in the state of New Jersey. Attention is the sire of many good stakes-winning thoroughbreds, including the sensational Spartan Valor. Attention's speed, stamina, and fire are reflected in the assets he passes on to his progeny. His smooth flowing muscles and vitality are reasons why many owners send their mares to him. Attention stands on the Hellas Stock Farm at Jobstown, one of the fine breeding farms of the state. Its hundreds of rolling acres embrace the banks of the winding Rancocas Creek. The stock farm might well be termed a thoroughbred hotel. This farm even boasts of an indoor track to provide for proper winter training of thoroughbred stabling there. In addition to the indoor track, the Jobstown farm also has a completely equipped outdoor track. Joseph M. Roebling's Harmony Hollow Stud is another of the famous horse farms located in the state of New Jersey. It's the headquarters of the famous Case Ace, sire of many stakes winners at home and abroad. In addition to Harmony Hollow Stud, Mr. Roebling maintains a racing stable, and the colors of this famed Garden State sportsman have been carried to victory in many of the country's most important stakes. Harmony Hollow Stud and the other horse farms in the state represent a capital investment of about $25 million and pay almost $700,000 in state and local taxes annually. It costs more than $3 a day to feed a horse like Case Ace and other thoroughbreds, and the time-worn expression, "he eats like a horse," has more than academic interest to the horse farmers. No human mother receives more attention than do these brood mares. Each of them represents maintenance items totaling at least $100 a month in feeding, medicines, blacksmiths, veterinarians, insurance, and wages. The offspring of these mares receive the same careful attention. These are yearlings being led out to pasture at Harmony Hollow Stud. All baby thoroughbreds automatically become 1 year older on the January 1st following their birth. Until then, they are called weanlings. Thoroughbreds are eligible to race when they become 2-year-olds. The intense interest in 2-year-old racing is attested by the fact that the Garden State Racing Association has founded the Garden State with $100,000 added, richest race ever scheduled any place in the world for 2-year-old thoroughbreds. The rich green pastures and rolling hills of New Jersey are ideally endowed by nature for mineral elements to nurture strong, sinewy thoroughbreds. Meadowview Farms near Moorestown is another New Jersey showplace. Founded by the late F. Wallace Armstrong Sr., it has for many years been the state's most famous homes for thoroughbreds. F. Wallace Armstrong Jr. has carried on his father's belief that only by breeding the best to the best could breeders expect to produce successful racehorses. This barn represents a real epic of the American turf because it is now the home of your host, the thoroughbred who refused to die. During his racing career, your host started 23 times, winning 13 races. His earnings of $384,000 places him high on the list of all-time leading money winners. He failed to finish among the top 3 only 3 times in his racing career. Once was in the Santa Pasquale Handicap at Santa Anita in 1951. It was your host's last race. Your host fell and fractured his right front elbow. That would have been the end of most thoroughbreds. Lloyd's of London paid off $250,000, the full amount of the insurance policy. Your host showed such fortitude under pain that the insurance company decided to try to save his life. For more than a year, the treatments continued. The shattered bones slowly mended until the vets finally for breeding. Mr. Armstrong headed a syndicate of thoroughbred breeders and brought the beautiful stallion to Moorestown. Your host is contented at Meadowview and has become a family pet of Mrs. Armstrong. The stallion has received more than 1,500 get-well cards and seems to take as much pride in them as do his owners. He is a notable addition to the thoroughbred stallion standing in the state of New Jersey. Quartered at Meadowview are many brood mares and weanlings. The weanlings represent the crop of these horse farmers. Romping with other weanlings or stretching their growing strength to keep pace with the mares galloping over the rich pastures of Meadowview, they are building up the speed and endurance so necessary in a thoroughbred racehorse. A top-flight racehorse not only must possess great speed, but to really meet success on the American turf, must be able to maintain that speedy pace over a distance of ground. And he must have the courage to keep generating that blazing speed when challenged by other thoroughbreds carefully bred for the same type of competition. Now here's a groom with one of these fine yearlings. Thoroughbred horse farms are a constant source of interest and study for G. Barker Seeley, Jr., Field Secretary of the Thoroughbred Horse Breeders Association of New Jersey. This yearling is approaching the time when he will be trained to carry a saddle, then a rider, and finally to break from the starting gate. This yearling's conformation and general fitness are carefully examined by the Field Secretary. His record and the record of all other Jersey-bred thoroughbreds will be carefully followed and tabulated by the Breeders' Association. Every victory on the track is a boost for their industry. The history of the success or failure of the produce of New Jersey's breeding farms has a definite influence on the price this produce will command when it reaches the market to pass into the hands of racing stable owners. This group of yearlings looks fit and ready for the advanced training that will fit them for the track. And this is the thrill every thoroughbred owner looks forward to, the winner's circle of a major racetrack. Here at Gardenia State Park, Willie Passmore is bringing the Jersey-bred 2-year-old Judge M back into the winner's circle after winning the $10,000 out of New Jersey Breeders' Stakes. Passmore joins Bayard Sharp, owner of the winner, as Mr. Seeley presents the trophy, emblematic of victory in the New Jersey Breeders' Stakes. It's early morning on the track at Gardenia State Park. The night mist still fills the air, making visibility difficult, but trainers already have their charges on the track in preparation for their next races. All the horses are merely jogged around the track to loosen up their sinews and muscles before being stepped up to a real test of speed over whatever distance the conditioner selects. This training is a daily chore for trainer and horse and a daily expense to the thoroughbred owner. The exercise boys are well paid, receiving a separate fee for each horse that they take on the track. It is from these boys that most of the successful jockeys have graduated. Timers are present at every training session. These men skillfully time the workouts of each horse on the track and publicize them so that patrons know just how each thoroughbred has trained. The horses come on the track with no special marks of identification, but years of experience have taught the clockers how to recognize each one. It might be a white blaze on the forehead, a white hind foot, or even some peculiarity in gait that gives the identification, but these men know them all and rarely make a mistake. An ambulance is in attendance at all times in case of accidents. Here's one of the hazards always present around a track, a runaway. The cry of loose horse alerts all within hearing and brings immediate help. This runaway tossed his exercise boy and broke loose in a mad dash. Other boys on their mounts made way for him because a highly strung thoroughbred is not the type to use in bringing to halt one of these dashers. This is Spartan Valor, best known of the progeny of the Hellas Stallion Attention. He is on the track for a mild loosening up under an exercise boy and with trainer Dr. John M. Lee in constant attendance. Sparty represents more than $250,000 in horseflesh and richly deserves the attention lavished upon him. Even the small fry get excitement and thrills watching the early morning workouts. The plater, or blacksmith, is one of the most important persons around the backstretch of a racetrack. In order to run best, a thoroughbred must have the same foot ease that you do. That is, comfortable and well-fitting shoes. The plater charges $4 for trimming the feet of a thoroughbred and $8 for fitting and shoeing. Like people, some horses run down at the heels, toe in or out, and have many physical characteristics which must be corrected by the plater. Foot care and shoes are an expensive item. Feet are trimmed and shoes are changed at least once monthly on horses in training. No pain is suffered during the trimming. There are 7 basic types of racing plates, most of them made from aluminum. They are fashioned to meet conditions of the track over which the thoroughbreds are scheduled to race. Platers are busy men. The small group available at a major racetrack, such as Gardenia State Park, arrive early, leave late, and are constantly at work on the feet of more than 1,200 horses stabled in the barn area during the racing season. Pets play a prominent part in the barn area of racetracks. This cigarette-eating goat and her companions are valuable adjuncts to their own particular stable. Thoroughbreds display great affection for these animal companions. Even when moving around the confined space of their stalls, they are extremely careful not to step on or otherwise injure their friends. This is Spartan Valor, back in his own barn following his light stint on the training track. Even after such mild exercise, Sparty is walked around slowly for many minutes in order that he cool out gradually and run no chance of catching cold. Naturally, Sparty, like all other thoroughbreds, gets a careful grooming after each workout. When this grooming is completed, his coat will shine like the sheen on fine satin. This thoroughbred is a gentle actor and seems to look forward to the lump of sugar Jock Barshak, director of racing for the Hellas Stables, has for him. After each workout, trainer Doc Lee minutely examines the legs of this star of the stable. They don't want any other accident to injure that $250,000 in running gear. And the attention lavished upon this outstanding winner is representative of the care all thoroughbreds in training receive. Each comes back from a training session or a race to meet the same slow cooling out process, the same careful grooming, and then the same intense examination and rest period. And now, his chores completed, Sparty is covered with the blanket in white and blue, that's the Hellas racing colors, and led back to his stall for rest and nourishment. These uniformed guards are indicative of the hundreds of attendants at the service of visitors to Gardenia State Park. Stationed at strategic spots throughout the huge plant, their instructions are to help all patrons to enjoy every minute of their stay at the track. The group is inspected each morning before going on duty to make certain that they are spick and span and ready to meet the public. They, along with ushers, cashiers, mutual clerks, and other employees, are management's contact with the public, the men and women upon whom management relies to carry out its slogan of racing planned for pleasure. Uniformed and sworn in as policemen, it is their duty to direct traffic and generally to place themselves at the disposal of visitors. The association employs many persons on an all-year-round basis. During the racing seasons, Gardenia State Park employs more than 1,000 persons. This employment has its impact on all local businesses through the medium of an annual payroll in excess of $1,100,000. The admission booths at Garden State Park are manned by women attendants. This group of admission clerks is being escorted to the booths at the main grandstand entrance. Garden State Park pioneered the turnstile type of admissions on American racetracks, a system now in almost universal use at all major tracks. It eliminates the necessity of issuing tickets and greatly speeds up the entrance of patrons to the track. The girls are now in their booths, the turnstiles are on loose, and Garden State Park is open for a day of exciting thoroughbred racing. Here is a view of the stands before the crowds arrive. Every seat in the giant enclosure has been scrubbed. The floors are spotless and even the individual pillars have been cleaned. The main entrance to Garden State Park is on Marlton Pike, just outside of Camden in Philadelphia. The turf enthusiast never has any trouble reaching the park. Many signs clearly point out the direction to the track, and courteous state police and park attendants control the flow of traffic and help to ensure the safety of the motorists. The fans arrive by all conceivable means of transportation. Of course, there's the automobile. Then the bus has become very popular. For a very nominal fee, the racing fan is deposited right at the front gate and can be assured of a return trip. Others come to Garden State Park's own station by private train from Philadelphia, New York, and Washington by way of the Pennsylvania Railroad. Taxi cabs bearing license plates from near and far constantly arrive with a full complement of passengers. Come by car, bus, plane, or train, there's always parking room. Recent addition of a new parking lot has helped the traffic situation considerably. Now the ample parking area at Garden State Park can care for more than 18,000 automobiles. The colorful awning-sheltered grandstand entrance is the focal point for many thousands of sports lovers. They pass through the turnstiles with a minimum of delay and effort, and then make their way across a tree-lined esplanade to be swallowed up in one of the beautiful colonial-type entrances. Once inside, many visitors take advantage of the escalators, which provide safe, convenient transportation to and from the mezzanine floor. Garden State Park now has 4 escalators located in the grandstand area. Another first for Garden State Park was the fine cafeteria conveniently located in the skyline terrace in the grandstand. The terrace was so named for the magnificent view that it commands of the Philadelphia skyline. The clubhouse entrance is located to provide the maximum convenience to patrons. Automobiles drive up close, passengers disembark and make their way through the turnstiles. Elevators provide transportation to the mezzanine floor and restaurant in this section. An attentive head waiter greets a group of sports lovers on the dining terrace, escorts them to their seats, where they enjoy the delicious food provided by Harry M. Stevens Incorporated and a fine view of the races. Many service clubs and other organizations hold meetings in the dining terrace. Thousands of racing fans are already inside the enclosure, eagerly awaiting the beginning of the afternoon's program. 8 thrill-packed races are scheduled, and for those who are a bit tardy, their slogan reads, "Better late than never." Here's something very seldom seen by the average sports fan, the jockey's quarters. The little men who ride thoroughbred horses are among the most interesting personalities around the track. Small in size, they must possess great strength in their hands and raw courage that permits them to drive more than 1,000 pounds of horse flesh, moving at 40 miles an hour through a hole that furnishes the tightest kind of a fit. Theirs is a never-ending battle, not only on the track, but in the jocks' quarters, where virtually all of them have one common enemy: weight. Their weight is checked carefully, both before and after each race. The riders report early on the day that they are to ride, and then they are kept secluded in their own quarters away from the public until they return from their final mount. Now take a deep breath and brace yourselves, for here we go. A close-up look at the big race of the day. Here's a view of the clubhouse entrance and interior and some of the crowd of more than 38,000 racing fans who turned out on a cold, dismal day for the running of the Garden State, the world's richest race. An authentic four-horse Healy brake leads the parade from the stable area to the stadium-type paddock and walking ring in front of the stands. Miss New Jersey graces the brake and exchanges gay greetings with the crowd. Next in line is the crack drill team of the Fairmount Mounted Patrol, which goes through its intricate drills before taking position in the infield to act as a guard of honor. The 15 two-year-old Thoroughbred scheduled to go postward for a share in the $269,965 purse, the greatest award in the history of racing, follow. Each starter is equipped with a blue and white Garden State blanket with his own name sewed on for identification purposes. All are alert but calm as they make their way to the paddock for the test of 1 1/16. Here come the riders, set to meet the owners and the trainers for last-minute instructions before mounting. Two top-flight jockeys who will ride the Cane Hoy entry get final orders from the trainer Eddie Hayward. Eddie Arcaro on the left will ride Racing Pool, and Hank Marino will be straddling Flying Fury. Jockey Eric Guerin will be riding Mrs. John W. Galbraith's Summer Tan, and trainer Sherrill Ward bundles the rider in his own coat to shield him from the biting breezes. Doug Dodson listens attentively to learn just how he is to ride Pin Oak Stable's Roman Patrol. And here's the call to the post. The horses are coming up the chute from the walking ring onto the main track, and in a moment will parade past the clubhouse and grandstand to the starting point of the race. The starters are number 1, Rokeby Stables Cupman, and number 1A, Golden Land. Number 2, Cane Hoy Stables Racing Pool, and 2X Flying Fury. Number 3, Summer Tan. Number 4, Hotel Man. Number 5, Fleet Path. Number 6, C.V. Whitney's Pyrenees. Number 7, Money Weather. Number 8, Roman Patrol. Number 9, Semi. Number 10, Big Broadcast. Number 11, Brother Tex. Number 12, Bayside Joe. And number 13, Darby Dan Farms Windsor King. Getting the starters lined up and into the starting gate is one of the many delicate phases of thoroughbred horse racing. This is particularly true in a big field of two-year-olds such as this one. The juveniles, each carrying 122 pounds, are carefully worked toward the gate by the assistant starters. Each thoroughbred has been assigned his own stall in the gate. Some go in without persuasion. Others have to be worked and cajoled carefully into their respective spots. Finally, all the horses are in their proper positions. Animals and jockeys tensely await the split second when the starter giggle and the gate is sprung. And they're off in the annual running of the Garden State. They come out of the gate in a perfect start, but the field quickly bunches up, causing Whitney's Pyrenees to stumble and unseat the jockey Laswell in front of the clubhouse. Laswell was uninjured. Swinging into the first turn, 4 horses fight their way to the front. Come Best saved ground and has Semi out in front with a very slight lead. Golden Land, Roman Patrol, and Summer Tan are right on his heels with the rest of the field in full chase. Going into the backstretch, Golden Land is still in front. Ahead on top of Summer Tan with Roman Patrol third. Ahead behind with only the same margin over Semi in 4th place. right down the backstretch with Summer Tan finally collaring Golden Land at the half-mile post with Money Weather third and Fleet Path fourth. Simi has dropped back to 7th place. Guerin has Summer Tan out in front by 3 lengths at the far turn, but Simi is back in the fight and has moved up from 7th to 2nd place. Roman Patrol hangs on to 3rd place, and Marino has moved Flying Fury up to 4th. Golden Land is done and is far back in the pack. Summer Tan continues to set a sizzling pace and makes the turn into the home stretch, leading Simi by 5 full lengths. His race past the pack stands as a triumphant procession. Time to the cheers of the fans who made him the pre-race favorite. Continuing to add to his margin in the final run, Summer Tan crosses the finish line 9 full lengths in front of Simi, with Flying Fury 3rd and Cupman 4th. Summer Tan covered the mile in the 16th over a sloppy track in 1 minute and 45 seconds to pick up the winner's share of the purse, amounting to $151,095. Guerin guides his mount to the winner's circle, where happy handlers immediately take charge of the winning colt and check him for possible injuries. He came out of the race sound and uninjured. Here is Summer Tan in the winner's circle after being decorated with a blanket of chrysanthemums, symbol of victory in the Garden State. Happy Guerin rewards the colt with a victory kiss. Owner Mrs. Galbraith smiles as Eugene Maury, president of Garden State Park, and jockey Guerin watch Governor Robert B. Minor present the Golden Trophy. Horse racing in New Jersey is operated under the direction of the New Jersey State Racing Commission. The state receives millions of dollars annually from the sport. Garden State Park alone paid in close to $7 million in 1 year, more than 15 times as much as Garden State distributed to its stockholders in dividends. Visitors to Garden State Park can rest assured that Eugene Maury, president, Walter H. Donovan, executive vice president, and the entire staff of officials will continue to present the sport of thoroughbred horse racing on the highest possible plane.
Festivity, fast horses, and fun. This is indeed a winning combination, and it's all here at beautiful Garden State Park. Since 1942, millions of spectators have visited this mecca of Eastern thoroughbred racing, located outside Camden, New Jersey. Every day during the spring and fall meetings, the fans are treated to thrills and excitement. But as in every sport, there are special occasions. One of the fall highlights is the running of the Gardenia. This annual classic brings together the nation's outstanding 2-year-old fillies in a contest of speed and stamina. Over the years, many great thoroughbreds have answered the traditional call to the post in quest of gold and glory. A Gardenia victory often leads to championship honors. Among the winners have been such female equine greats as Nazrina, Edon, Quill, Cicada, Moccasin. Rivaling the names of the thoroughbred performers are the country's outstanding jockeys. In attendance are such stellar reinsmen as Shoemaker, Baeza, Ussery, Boland, Pierce, Knapp, and many others. Every racing day, a most familiar voice helps in providing fun and excitement at Garden State Park. He's Morris Toby, our track announcer, here now to call the action.
33,000 racing fans anxiously await the start of the $196,000 Gardenia Stakes. $117,000 to the winner, and they're off. Fish House breaks away alertly and gets the lead. Woozer moves from the outside into second, Court Circuit third. Mirafem 4th, Regal Gleam is 5th, Irish County 6th, Silver True is 7th, Lewiston Racing 8th, Coral Roman 9th, With the Flair is 10th, Chantilly Jewel 11th, Scottish Heath is 12th, Amherst is 13th, and Pepperwood trails the field. They curve into the clubhouse turn, and Fish House holds on to the lead. On the outside, Woozum is 2nd, Court Circuit hugs the rail 3rd, Mirafem is 4th, Ring 5th, Irish County 6th as they swing into the back stretch. Straightening away for the run down the back stretch, Fish House now draws out to a 1.5 length lead. Woozum maintains 2nd position, Mirafem gaining ground on the outside 3rd by half a length. Court Circuit, the favorite, is 4th on the rail, Irish County is 5th, and Regal Gleam 6th. They come to the half-mile pole, and on the lead it's Fish House, drawing out now by 2.5 lengths. In 2nd position, Woozum. The Shoemaker sends the favorite Court Circuit through on the rail to make a bet. He's 3rd, not equal to the task, and dropping back as Mirafem once more moves up. They go into the far turn, and Fish House extends the margin to 3 lengths. Woozum is still 2nd, Mirafem 3rd, dropping back 4th is the favorite, Court Circuit. Regal Gleam is 5th, and in 6th position, Irish County, and Pepperwood begins to move on the rail from far back. They come to the quarter pole, and Fish House, getting a taste of the money on the wire, comes to the top of the stretch with a 3-length lead. Woozum is 2nd. In 3rd position, it's Mirafem, and down on the inside, here comes Pepperwood, and under vigorous urging is closing fastest of all. They've got 1/8 of a mile to come, and Fish House maintains a slight advantage, but Pepperwood is driving at her on the inside, coming up head and head through the stretch. Pepperwood under a vigorous whipping by Bussery gets the lead, and here comes the finish. Pepperwood by a neck. Fish House was 2nd. In 3rd position, it was Woozum with the Flair 4th under the wire in the Gardenia Stakes.
Owned by Christopher Chenery, trained by Casey Hayes, and expertly handled by jockey Bobby Ussery, Pepperwood now joins a most impressive list of thoroughbreds as a Gardenia winner at Garden State Park. Thoroughbreds are athletes. Their breeding, training, and very existence is geared to meet competition on the racing oval. Through the early morning haze at Garden State Park, many eyes follow the fleeting movements of exercise boy and horse. The trainer, sometimes the owner, but always the clocker who, with uncanny memory and the recognition of horses, makes note of time and distance for the information of all concerned. To meet the ever-increasing spectator interest, thoroughbred breeding, training, and racing have grown into a great industry. Since the horse is the principal product, he must be raised and looked after with utmost professional care. For after countless hours of work, and at times tears, these well-conditioned steeds will be answering the call to the post as a contestant in the racing wars. Go Garden State for the fun of it. Yes, fun, thrills, and excitement are always in store for the racing enthusiast when visiting Garden State Park. Major highways and turnpikes lead right to the track where there's parking space for over 15,000 cars. The fans from Camden and Philadelphia are but minutes away from having an enjoyable afternoon. Another yearly stellar attraction at Garden State Park is the running of the Garden State Stakes. First run in 1953, the Garden State was long known as the world's richest race, and over the years it has proved to be the final step in deciding the two-year-old champion. This great event has been the stepping stone to fame and fortune for animal, owner, and trainer. The victory roster reads as the who's who of the turf world. Racing the winner's circle have been such names as Turn 2, Summer Tan, Barbizon, First Landing, Carryback, Crimson Satan, Nadir, Crewman, Hurry to Market, and many others. To race a horse in this classic is a true thrill. To win is an honor equal to any in racing. Here again to bring you a stride-by-stride account of the action is Morris Tovey.
On a rainy afternoon, 36,550 racing fans have jammed Garden State Park for the running of the $314,000 Garden State Stakes. The winner picks up a check of $188,475. And starter Charlie Kamack directs the operations as he loads these two-year-olds into their respective positions in the starting gate. This is a true test of stamina and ability because these juveniles are now going over a distance of ground. The track is sloppy, the distance 1 mile and 1/16. And Jovial Boy now takes his position in the starting gate to be followed by Proviso. And then on the outside will be George Widener's Bold Hour, the last to move into line. They're all standing in nicely, and we should get a start any moment. They all look pretty good from this vantage point here as the horses stand nicely, having raced all during their juvenile year and behaving well. They're off. On the outside, Bold Hour breaking alertly, goes to the front. In reality, between horses second, Dawn Glory third, Jovial Boy fourth, Successor fifth, Jack of All Trades is sixth, High Tribute is seventh, Yorkville Racing eighth, Gentleman James ninth, Aldo Rebo is 10th, Wilbur Clark 11th, and Proviso brings up the rear of the field. They race into the clubhouse turn, and Bold Hour sprints away to a 2-length lead. In reality, racing up into second position, Dawn Glory, the Puerto Rican invader, on the rail third, a half a length. Jovial Boy on the outside is fourth, Successor fifth. They swing into the back stretch, and in the run down the back stretch, Bold Hour widens on the field by 4 lengths. In reality, second, a half a length. Dawn Glory inching up close to third on the rail. On the outside, Jovial Boy is in fourth position. They come to the half-mile pole, and Bold Hour by 5 lengths. Willie Shoemaker calls on In Reality. He responds and begins to move towards the leader. Dawn Glory on the rail maintains third position. Jovial Boy now makes a bid on the outside third. Dawn Glory dropping back fourth. Successor gaining ground fifth. High Tribute is sixth. And as they go into the far turn, it's Bold Hour showing his heels of the field with a 3-length lead. In reality, can't whittle the margin down. He's dropping back slightly in second position. Dawn Glory coming on third. Jovial Boy fourth, and their Successor finds an opening between horses. Baitza sends him through. He comes up on the outside. He's now third, and he's the horse to be reckoned with a quarter of a mile to come. Bold Hour comes to the top of the stretch with a 3-length lead as Johnny Rotz looks for opposition. He finds it. In reality, drives on the rail second. Baitza sends Successor between horses with a burst of speed, and he's closing strongest of all. Down the stretch, it's Successor getting the lead. Baitza opens up 2 lengths, 3 lengths. As they're coming to the wire, he flicks the whip once, and Successor comes to the wire. An easy winner, 4 lengths in front. In second position, Bold Hour. Proviso came from far back to be third. In reality, fourth as he swept under the wire in the Garden State Stakes.
Once again, the Garden State Stakes has produced the 2-year-old champion of the year. Successor, owned by the Wheatley stable, can be justly proud of his juvenile crown. No, this isn't the circus. We're still at Garden State Park. This is just part of the fun that you find here. Many groups, clubs, and commercial organizations plan a yearly outing at the races. Not all will bring wild animals, but all will have a good time. No matter how large or small the group, there are always elegant accommodations at Garden State Park. A joyful cocktail party can be followed by a sumptuous buffet lunch, which will palpitate any palate. This is certainly an ideal way to get together and have fun. We extend to you an invitation to contact the publicity office at Garden State Park for complete details and information regarding group plans. It's Jersey Derby Day, and it's also Memorial Day. Every year, Garden State Park's spring meeting comes to a grand and glorious close with the running of the Jersey Derby. Equaling the attraction and importance of the race itself is the pageantry of the day. The many dining rooms, cafeterias, and snack bars are supplemented by outdoor tents and barbecues. A small, colorful village is specially erected for this day, for it is symbolic of the era when the Jersey Derby was first run in 1864. The modern renewal of the race was in 1960 at Garden State Park, and since then it has become a must on the racing calendar of fans from all over the United States and Canada. Yes, this is Jersey Derby Day, and that means the leading 3-year-old thoroughbreds of North America are about to pit their heart and stamina against each other. The cast is always near perfect, and the setting is ideal. The finest jockeys look forward to this great event. Every owner and trainer anxiously hope for the first at the finish feeling. Now, here's Morris Toby for the call of the race.
The Jersey Derby, America's oldest derby, is the feature attraction on this holiday afternoon as 44,000 racing fans jam Garden State Park to witness this classic 3-year-old event, to be contested at 1 mile and 1/8 on a lightning-fast track. There are 9 starters moving into the starting gate here at Garden State Park, and creme de la creme is the choice with the public here this afternoon. This fellow has great promise, has shown a lot of ability, and this race, as usual, is a stepping stone on the way to the Triple Crown events, the 3-year-old classics of the year. The last horse to move in position is Michigan Avenue. He assumes it on the outside, and starter Charlie Kamek and his assistants prepare them for the start. It looks pretty good. We'll get a break any moment. They're all coming away to a perfect start, and Sky Duke breaks fast and gets the lead. Creme de la Creme on the rail is second. Father's Image third. Blue Sky a fourth. Cabildo is fifth. Exhibition is sixth. Indulto Racing seventh. Michigan Avenue eighth, and Williamstown Kid is last. They pass the clubhouse on the way to the first turn, and Creme de la Creme skims the rail and gets the lead. Sky Duke is second. Father's Image on the outside third. Exhibitionist is fourth. Blue Sky a fifth. Michigan Avenue sixth. Cabildo seventh. Indulto eighth, and Williamstown Kid trails. They round the turn into the back stretch, and Creme de la Creme speeds away to a length and a half lead. Sky Duke second on the outside, a half a length. Father's Image on the rail is third. In fourth position, it's Exhibitionist, and Michigan Avenue fifth as they straighten into the back stretch. In the run down the back stretch, Creme de la Creme widens on the field, gets a 4-length advantage. Bill Hartack sends Father's Image up on the outside. He won't let the leader get away. He gets second position. Sky Duke third on the outside. In fourth place, it's Exhibitionist with Michigan Avenue fifth, and they're approaching the far turn, with Creme de la Creme still setting all the pace, holding a 2.5-length lead. Father's Image second by a neck. On the outside, Sky Duke third. Exhibitionist is fourth. On the outside, Johnny Rott sends Indulto up from the rear of the field. He's closing very fast. He's now fourth and moving up outside of horses. Halfway around the turn, and Creme de la Creme widens, holds a 5-length advantage. Indulto now takes up the chase. He's second. Father's Image third. Sky Duke fourth. Coming to the top of the stretch, Creme de la Creme attempts to bolt. Don Brumfield tries to keep him in. He fights and straightens him away. The others take advantage. Indulto under left-handed whipping between horses. Closing ground is coming up head and head for the lead, and Rotz gets the advantage. Rotz and Indulto in front by a head. Don Brumfield plies the whip furiously left hand. Creme de la Creme gives him the response. He draws out a length. 2 lengths. He's coming to the wire, an easy winner. Here's the finish. Creme de la Creme by 2.5 lengths. Indulto was second. Father's Image third. Michigan Avenue fourth as they swept under the wire in the Jersey Derby.
A great effort by horse and rider. Jockey Donald Brumfield guiding Creme de la Creme to a thrilling victory in the Jersey Derby. Thus, another page in the glorious history book of thoroughbred racing at Garden State Park is written. Just as there will be many more afternoons filled with excitement and fun. As the pioneer racetrack in New Jersey, Garden State Park has and always will provide the finest in thoroughbred thrills. The ultimate for the convenience of the fan and dedication to the continued growth of this great industry and sport. Join us for fun. Go Garden.